Food and Beverage Services for grade 7 and 8. Our topic is Introduction to Food and Beverages Services. Food and beverage services is defined as the process of preparing, presenting, and serving food and beverages to the customer on premise, at the restaurant and hotels, or off-premise, takeaway, restaurant catering service, and food delivery. The main goals of food and beverage services: to satisfy the following needs: physiological, the need to taste different varieties of food; economical, the need to get food and beverage services at the invested cost; social, the need to find friendly atmosphere; psychological, the need to elevate self-esteem. It is also to provide high quality of food and beverages, to provide friendly and welcoming atmosphere, to provide professional, hygienic, and attentive service, to impart value for money, to retain the existing customers, and to bring in new ones. Food and beverage services contributes a great deal to the profits in hospitality industry. With the increase in the importance of business meetings, a range of personal and social events, a large number of customers visit catering establishments frequently. It is a dynamic industry covering a wide range of job roles, from baristas to head waiters, bartenders, and others. It is a career with many opportunities for development. In addition, there is a sure chance to meet and interact with different nation people. Whether you are a student ready for the real world or a professional seeking for a career change in the food and beverage industry, there is a wealth of unique opportunities waiting for you in this field. If you are passionate about cooking, management, nutrition, food science, or even writing, you have a higher chance of landing a job in this industry. Types of food and beverage services. Food and beverage service operation involve a multitude of activities which engage the staff from purchasing raw material, preparing food and beverages, keeping the inventory of materials, maintaining service quality continuously, managing various catered events, and most importantly, analyzing the business outcomes to decide future policies. There are different types of restaurant. First is the cafeterias. Cafeterias are restaurants serving mostly cooked or ready-to-eat food arranged behind a food serving counter. A patron takes a tray and pushes it along track in front of the counter. Depending on the establishment, servings may be ordered from attendants or selected as ready-made portions already on plates, or self-serve food of their own choice. Another type of restaurant is the fast food restaurant. Fast food restaurants emphasize speed of service and low cost over all other considerations. The next type of restaurant is the casual dining restaurants. A casual dining restaurant is a restaurant that serves moderately priced food in a casual atmosphere. Except for buffet-style restaurants, casual dining restaurants typically provide table service. A casual dining comprises of a market segment between fast food establishment and a fine dining restaurants. Family-style restaurants. A family-style restaurant are restaurants with a fixed menu and fixed price, usually with diners seated at a communal table, such as on bench seats. Often, these restaurants provide children play area. As specialty restaurants. As specialty restaurants range from quick service to upscale. Menus usually include ethnic dishes and authentic ethnic foods. They specialize in multicultural cuisine, not specifically accommodated by other listed categories. Examples of these are Asian cuisine, Chinese cuisine, Indian cuisine, and American cuisine. Bistro, a small restaurant serving moderately priced simple meal in a modest setting with alcohol. Bistros are defined mostly by foods they serve. French home style or style cooking and slow cooked foods like bean stew are typical. The bar, a long raised narrow table of bench design for dispensing beer or other alcoholic drinks. They are originally chest high and bar, often brass, ran the length of the table just above floor height for customers to rest a foot on, which gave the table its name. Coffee shop, an establishment that primarily serves coffee of various types like espresso, latte, or cappuccino. Some coffee houses may serve cold drinks such as iced coffee or iced tea. A coffee house may also serve foods such as light snacks, sandwiches, muffins, or pastries. Staff qualities, skills, and knowledge success in food and beverage services. Staff qualities, skills, and knowledge success in food and beverage service. First is the professional and hygiene appearance. As staff should be clean and should be used deodorants, but not strong-smelling ones. Aftershave and perfumes should not be too strong as this may have harmful effect on the guest's palate. Sufficient sleep, an adequate and healthy intake of food, and regular exercise is essential for good health and the ability to cope up with the pressure and stress of work. Letter D. Particular attention should be paid to the hands. They must always be clean, free of nicotine stains, and with clean, well-trimmed nails. Men should normally be clean, shaven, or with any mustache or beard should be neatly trimmed. Women should only wear light makeup. If nail varnish is worn, then it should be clear. Earrings should not be worn with possible exemption of studs or slippers. Uniform should be clean, starched as appropriate, and neatly pressed. All buttons must be present. Hair must be clean and well groomed. Long hair must be tied up or back to avoid falling hair into foods and drinks, to avoid repeated handling of the hair. Shoes must be comfortable and clean and of a plain, neat design. Fashion is not important here as safety and foot comfort is. Teeth should be brushed immediately before coming on duty. Cuts and burns should be covered with waterproof dressing. Any colds or other possible infections should be reported. Hands should be washed immediately after using the toilet, smoking, or dealing with refuse. Hot water and soap must be used. Staff should try to avoid any mannerism they may have, such as running their fingers through their hair, chewing gum, or scratching their face. Excessive jewelry should not be worn. The establishment policy should be followed. Number 2 is the ability of food and beverage and technical ability. The staff must have sufficient knowledge of all items on the menu. They must know how to serve correctly each dish on the menu. That is, accompaniments are, and the correct cover and the make-up for the dish and its garnish. For beverage services, the staff should know how to serve various types of wine and drink in the correct containers like glasses or cups and at the right temperature. Number 3, punctuality. Punctuality is all important. If the staff are continually late on duty, it shows a lack of interest in their work, and lack of respect for the management and guests. Number 4, local knowledge. In the interest of the guest, the staff should have a certain knowledge of the area in which they work so they may be able to advise the guests on the various forms of entertainment offered, the best means of transport to places of interest, and so on. Number 5 is the personality. Staff must be tactful, courteous, good sense of humor, and even temper. They must converse with the guests in a pleasing and well-spoken manner, and the ability to smile at the right time pays dividends. Number 6 is the attitude toward the guests. Staff must provide service and should be able to anticipate guest needs and wishes. A careful watch should be kept on the guest during the service, but without staring, to check the progress of the meal. Number 7 is memory. A good memory is an asset to food and beverage service staff. It may help them in various ways in their work if they know the likes and dislikes of the guest, where they like to sit in the food service area, and what are their favorite drinks, and so on. Number 8 is honesty. Trust and respect in the triangle of staff, guest, and management relationships leads to an atmosphere at work that encourages efficiency and a good team spirit among the food and beverage service operators. Number 9 is loyalty. The staff's obligation and loyalty are firstly to the establishment in which they are employed and its management. Number 10 is the conduct. Staff conduct should be impeccable at all times, especially in front of the guest. The rules and regulation of an establishment must be followed and respect shown to all senior members of staff. Number 11 is the sales ability. All members of the staff reflect the image of the establishment. They are salespeople and must therefore have a complete knowledge of all forms of food and drinks and their correct service, and so be able to contribute a personal selling and merchandising. Number 12 is the sense of urgency. In order for the establishments to generate the maximum amount of business over the service period with a high net profit as possible, staff must develop a sense of urgency in their work. Number 13 is the complaints. Staff should have a pleasant manner and show courtesy and tact, an even temper and good humor. They should never show their displeasure even during a difficult situation. Staff should never argue with the guests if they are unable to resolve a situation. It should be referred immediately to a senior member of the team who will be able to reassure the guests and put right any fault. Remember, loss of time in dealing with complaints only makes the situation worse. Number 14 is the contribution to the team. Above all, staff should be able to work as part of a team within and between departments. The success of food and beverage establishment lies on the management and the employee. Each employee follows the management standard to maintain high quality of service to its customer. The function of a restaurant. Number 14 is the contribution to the team. Above all, staff should be able to work as part of a team within and between departments. The success of food and beverage establishment lies on the management and the employee. Each employee follows the management standard to maintain high quality of service to its customer. The function of any restaurant and bar may be summarized as follows. First, to provide food and beverage, serve attractively, fulfilling customer expectation. Second, to provide a nice environment where guests can enjoy the food and drinks. And of course, to make a profit. The food service system. First is the conventional food service system. This service system is the most common of all systems in the food service. In this kind of system, ingredients are assembled and the food or dish are produced on-site. This system is usually used in cafeterias, restaurants, small hotels, and school canteens. Next is the centralized or the commissary food service system. This is also known as central kitchen or food factory. In this kind of system, food is prepared in one place, then transported to satellite kitchens. This system is most effective when the mass production is required. Airline industry is an example of establishment that uses centralized food service system. Next is the ready prepared food service system. In ready prepared food service system, the food is produced on site. It is usually chilled or frozen, then reheated and served to customers on site and readily available to the customers. Ready prepared food service system is usually used by hospitals and prisons. Here are some examples of different restaurants and restaurant settings. A time to remember. This is Maylene Huliganga. Thank you for watching.